Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Got an interesting one. So if I was a starting Lube tech and I wanted to build a icon loadout basically for my initial box setup, how much would it cost me? So y'all stay tuned. We're going to go in to Harbor Freight's website, select some tools for the starting tech, and see how much it would end up costing us from box to the tools. Alright guys, so I actually started recording this earlier, but I found out that obviously, of course, with Harbor Freight, a lot of their products that are only available in stores, obviously you can't get online, so there is that issue of things. So what I'm going to do is just create a wish list, and then we'll just tally it up and see what we come up with in terms of the total of building an icon budget loadout for a new Lube tech. So, and the reason I thought about this was because, obviously I mentioned in one of my videos earlier is that, I got a buddy that his son is going to trade school, um, or is planning to after he finishes high school. And obviously, there is the possibility as once he gets into entry level, he will start off as a Lube tech. And then, I had a discussion with another buddy that was currently working for Subaru. He started off at the very beginning and worked his way up to become a master tech. So over the years, and we kind of discussed, what his loadout was in the very beginning, all the way up to his current setup, and it was very interesting to hear what his thoughts was. Now, obviously, for me, in my experience, building a basic tool setup, there was a lot of things that came into play, which was cost, what was available, and so on. But now with Harbor Freight coming out with so many new tools, it's great to see. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, so we'll go to shop. Now, when a tech's going to start off with, they're not going to get a big, huge box. We want to start them off kind of small and let them grow into that. Now, there's tool carts, and I think that will be the best bet. Obviously, we're going to try to keep the budget as minimal as possible, but not be too frugal, obviously. So we could go with a 4-drawer tech cart, but I think a 5-drawer might do more justice. So let's choose some options. I like the red and black. We're going to go with icon tools in this video, so that'll be the main subject. So we're going to load out. Now, obviously, icon doesn't have a mechanics cart, so we're going to choose this one here. So that way he can roll around to the different bays. And obviously I said I was going to do to the wish list, so let's see here, add to list. Alright, that's added now. So next one, let's go to hand tools. Alright, sockets and ratchets. Well, let's just go down to icon here. Okay, the new tech's going to come in. They're going to see the master techs with their big snap-on boxes, their big Mac tool boxes, all the fancy hand tools, and they're going to envy it so much. But they don't want to go into tool debt just yet, or they don't have the funds to start off yet. Okay, and the master techs told them, hey, be smart about it. You're just fresh in here. You don't know if you're going to stick with this. You don't know if you're cut out for it. So, but if you want to shop, let's go and get you a little budget here. Let's get it going. We're going to go with icon hand tools because as a Lube tech, you're not going to need a ton of tools yet. You're not doing any diagnostics. You're not doing heavy repairs. You're just changing oil, and that's going to be the basis of the video. They're just changing oil and basic fluids. They're not going to need a lot of stuff. Okay, so drive tools will be the main first thing. All right. Now we're going to have different options here. We just had a video yesterday that we went over the G2 ratchets that came out, but there's also the Gen 1 stuff. So if you scroll down here, you got your standard length one. but we want to give him some leverage. So if we go with 3/8, where is that 3/8? We just saw it not too long ago. Half-inch drive, 3/8 right here. We can go with the $54, or we can spend an extra $15 and do with the new Gen 2. Okay, so we'll be kind of, we'll be nice, but I mean, either way, he gets that warranty. So let's go the budget route. We'll go with the Gen 1. Okay, we're going to get him that 3/8 long reach. Then we should also get him like a 1/4 inch for the smaller fasteners. I think that would be a good route there. So we'll add in a 1/4 inch flex head as well. Okay, to get in those tighter spaces, different angles. So that should be good right there. Now, obviously, I think if he gets a stubborn, drain bolt, he's going to need some extra leverage. So let's get him a breaker bar. All right. We're going to go back. We're going to do chrome sockets. He has no power tools. He has nothing in his inventory in terms of tools. He is starting off fresh. All right, so we're going to go with sockets here. We're going to go ahead and add this to the list. Quarter inch right here. Let's choose some options. We're going to go with the deeps, metric, add to the list. Okay, shallows, same thing. Metrics, add to the list. All right, and now we're going to find the 3/8. All right. Add to the list there. And now we just need to find the 3/8 deeps. There it is right there. We'll choose the metric, add to the list. He's going to need some oil filter sockets. We're going to add that to the list. All right, anything else in here that he's going to run into? Okay. All right, so there may be possibilities of, let's say, Allens or E-Star or Star Torx. So let's see what we get here. We've got a Torx set. So we'll add that one to the list, and then we'll throw him in a set of Allens as well too. So let's see here. Let's get him a metric set there. That should cover that. All right, we'll go back. All right, torque wrenches. Okay, we want to make sure that he's torquing down those drain bolts properly. So let's get him a 3/8 one. He won't need the 1/2 inch yet. Wrenches. Okay, so he's definitely going to need a basic wrench set, of course. So we're going to throw him in the metric. We're going to add that to the list. Okay, and then now should we go to anti-slip or regular? Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and throw in the other one. We'll go back in and remove the other one. We don't want him marring up those drain bolts. All right. I think now if we get him this double box end wrench set, that'll do him justice. That'll give him leverage as well too. Sometimes that's a little quicker. So we could go this route, but we'll give him the flex head set. Okay. All right, now as far as some of these drain bolts or overfill bolts on the transmission pans, we'll do some light transmission. Let's see, let's go with the metric T-handle hex set. We'll add that on there. Okay. What is it doing? Alright, we don't need impact sockets or extensions yet. Let's go down to pliers. Let's get them a basic set of pliers. I definitely like these plier wrenches. They'll definitely come in handy. I use it quite frequently. Let's see what else we got here. Long reach pliers. You may drop something. Let's see. We'll add that to the list. Definitely need some needle noses, side cutters, slip joint pliers. We'll throw them some flush cuts. Should we get them these? We'll throw them a pair of those. Alright. So I think that should do it. So we got pliers covered, screwdrivers. So we'll get them a professional 8-piece mechanic screwdriver set there. Pry bars, picks. So we definitely want. Let's get him a scraper so that way he can change off that service tag. Little pick set just in case. Okay. And we'll throw him in this little scraper set too, just in case he needs to. Striking tools. Alright. So we got a few different options here. So let's go with the 24 ounce. That's a good size right there. A little persuasion. As far as the dead blow ball peen, we've got 16 ounce, 24 ounce, and then 32 ounce. So let's make our money's worth it. We'll go with this one here, 32 ounce on that one, soft face. We'll just go both 32 ounce on those, and we'll go back to our list there. Don't need any taps and dies or extractors. Alright, so let's go back to our list and see what we got. Alright guys, so I've got the items removed that we talked about, the anti-slip wrench set, and then the 24 ounce hammer. So let's start at the top here, or actually let's start at the very bottom from where we started off with. We've got the 30-inch 5-drawer mechanics cart. Okay, that's $279 there. We've got the 3/8 long reach flex head ratchet, $54. 1/4-inch ratchet, $34. 1/2-inch breaker bar, $44. Now that I'm thinking about this, he needs an adapter set. Alright, professional socket adapter 4-piece set, 16 bucks. We're going to add that in there. Okay, so where did we stop off? We stopped at the 1/2-inch breaker bar. I went ahead and added in the 4-piece adapter set. So let's go ahead and go through back up here. We've got the 3-inch extension 6-piece set there for $39. 1/4-inch drive metric professional deep socket set, $34. The shallow version, $24 there. 3/8 shallow set, $34. 3/8 deep set, $44. We've got oil filter sockets. We've got a Torx bit set, $29. Metric professional hex bit set, $44. We got a 3/8 torque wrench, 14-piece combination wrench set, $119. Double box ratcheting wrench set, $229. T-handle set, $39. So pliers wrench, $39. Long reach pliers, $21. 8-inch needle nose, $19. Diagonal cutters, $19. Slip joints, $19. Flush cuts, $29. Needle nose, slip joints, $27. Okay, tongue and groove, $18. Screwdriver set, $49. Scraper, $13. Mini pick set, $19. Scraper set, $24. Dead blow ball peen, $54. And then the soft face hammer, $27. 4-piece adapter set, $16.99. One thing we are forgetting is some oil filter pliers. Okay. So let's see. We'll add that to the list. So guys, I'm gonna need your help. If there's anything else I'm missing here, just throw it down in the comments. Oil filter pliers, $7.99. So let's take a look. I'm gonna tally this up and see where we're at now. Okay, so initial calculations, we are at $16.25.68 with all of this in the list right now. So question is that over budget? Now, if we wanted to reach, let's say, the $1,500 sweet mark, how could we get down to there? What can we drop? What do we not need? So let's take a look here. As we're going through the items here listed here, what could we remove essentially? Now, an easy one here is, let's say we remove this one. And if we go back to the calculator, you subtract out, what was it, 229? That brings us down to $13.95.69. $13.95.69. He is still left with all these tools and this box. Now, that's a pretty decent setup there. I mean, you're getting some pretty decent tools, lifetime warranty. You know, he's starting off fresh, and he's able to do his job, you know, pretty efficiently at this point. And you know, something for him to be kind of proud of. Now, obviously, we're going to do a separate video if we just do, you know, Pittsburgh tools, Quinn tools, whatever the case is. But for Icon tools, this is a pretty good setup here. I think that we go this route at $13.95 as a lube tech, just changing oils, other fluids such as, you know, diff fluids, possibly transmission fluids. May not even get to that yet, just because there is a possibility, you know, he's got to run service machines and stuff, depending on their protocols and processes or whatever the case is. But let's just say he's strictly to oil changes, diff fluids. He's got all the necessary tools that he's going to need to roll around the bay or shop and get things done. And probably more than enough. We probably don't need a lot of all this stuff, but he's got enough there to, you know, to run into small scenarios that he may get into and do his job efficiently. Obviously, he's going to be able to, possibly depending on where he's working, they have shop tools that he can borrow, you know, shop foreman may help him out, whatever initially. But for a basic tool cart setup, $13.95.69 out the door, plus tax obviously. So here in Texas, you got 8.25% tax, $15.10. Okay, we're $10 over after tax. So if we want to subtract that, so let's make sure he only has $1,500 cash. What can we do without? Okay, let's see here. You may not need these, so let's take that one out. We're just gonna get him a basic plier set. Nice. We have $14.80. Okay, he's got 20 bucks left over. He's gonna be able to go buy some lunch now, and call it a day. He's gonna roll it out, roll it into the shop. He's got a new toolbox, new tools, and he's got a big grin on his face. So, all right, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. And as always, stay wrenching, stay blessed, take care, and we'll catch you on the next video. Appreciate y'all. And again, leave some comments below if y'all think this was efficient enough for a starting lube tech. If not, let me know what I'm missing. Let me know what I need to add on there. But y'all take care.